All right, let's talk about something really profound. A confusing and often painful experience that so many of us go through at some point. A period of intense, seemingly random isolation.
You know the feeling, right? It's like one day you look around and people you thought would be there forever just aren't. Plans you were so excited about fall apart out of nowhere. Doors you were counting on just seem to slam shut. It can feel incredibly personal, like you've done something wrong.
But what if we've been looking at this whole thing completely backward? Let's try to reframe this, not as some kind of cosmic punishment, but as a deliberate, purposeful preparation. It's actually a key signpost in many spiritual awakenings, a powerful, if challenging, call to transformation.
So, let's start with this core idea, this major shift in perspective. What your mind immediately labels as loneliness and abandonment, the universe, or whatever higher intelligence you believe in, might actually see as a sacred invitation. An invitation to go deeper.
This really breaks it down perfectly. On one hand, you have how it feels in the moment. Totally unfair, deeply painful, like it's the end of a chapter. But on the other hand, you have the spiritual interpretation, that this is all happening for a reason, that it's designed to be transformative. It's not an ending at all. It's an initiation.
And you know, this whole idea isn't new, not by a long shot. This feeling of being set apart, of being pulled into solitude, it's a well-worn path. It's been walked by mystics, philosophers, and some of the wisest spiritual leaders throughout history.
I mean, just think about the Buddha. Here's a guy who had everything. He was a prince, he had luxury, comfort, you name it, and he chose to leave it all behind for years of seclusion. That isolation was the very thing that led to his enlightenment under the Bodhi tree.
Or, look at the story of Jesus spending 40 days and 40 nights totally alone in the desert. That was an intense period of solitude and testing, and it was what forged the clarity and the strength he needed for the rest of his journey.
And hey, it's not just these massive religious figures. You've got the Stoic Emperor Marcus Aurelius. While he was surrounded by the absolute chaos of running the Roman Empire, he cultivated a deep internal isolation. And it was in that quiet inner space that he wrote his Meditations, which is still a go-to guide for finding inner peace today. They all got it. This isn't punishment, it's a process.
Okay, so if it's not random, then why? Why does this happen? What's the point of it all? Well, the key idea here is that behind this experience of feeling set apart, there's a kind of hidden sacred plan at work.
From this viewpoint, the universe is working in 3 very deliberate steps. First up is purification. Seriously, picture a master gardener carefully tending to a plot of land. They have to pull out all the weeds, the old energies, the draining relationships, the habits that just don't fit anymore, to make the soil rich and ready for new seeds.
The second step is protection. And wow, this quote just says it all, doesn't it? Not everything that leaves your life is a loss. Sometimes it is a rescue. It suggests that some people or situations are removed from your life not to hurt you, but to actually shield you from negative paths or influences you couldn't even see coming. And that brings us to step 3, preparation. This is the real test. When all the external noise gets turned way down, the opinions of others, the need for likes, the constant distractions, you're left with nowhere else to look for your worth. You are basically forced to meet your true self, maybe for the very first time.
Okay, so maybe this is all starting to sound eerily familiar, but how do you really know if this is what's happening to you? There are a few key signs that this isn't just a random case of loneliness, but actually a guided transformation.
Just see if any of these ring a bell. Your intuition, that gut feeling. It might feel like it's getting louder, way more accurate. You might look at your past and feel this weird sense of detachment, like you're looking at a different person. Draining people just seem to drift away on their own. No big fight needed. And you might feel this deep, undeniable pull to understand yourself better, while at the same time finding that loud, chaotic places just feel unbearable. A really cool way to think about this whole phase is as a kind of spiritual alchemy. The universe is playing the role of the alchemist, and it's working to transform the lead of your old patterns and limiting beliefs into the gold of your most authentic, powerful self. It's a refinement process, plain and simple. So, if you're sitting here nodding along thinking, yep, that's me, the next big question is, what do you do now? If the universe has guided you into this quiet space, how do you make the most of it? You're basically at a crossroads. You've got 2 choices. You can resist. You can fight the solitude, desperately text old contacts, try to fill every quiet moment. That path usually just leads to more pain, frustration, and feeling stuck. Or You can choose to embrace it. And that choice opens the door to real transformation, to clarity, and to a kind of inner power you've never felt before.
So to help you actually embrace it, here are 4 really practical things you can do. 1. Practice silence. Just sit. Let the noise die down so you can finally hear your own inner voice. 2. Connect with your body. Go for a walk in nature, do some yoga. This helps move all that stagnant emotional energy. 3. Journal. This is your tool for decoding messages, for making sense of weird dreams, or those meaningful coincidences, synchronicities, that start popping up. And 4. Expand your mind. Dive into books on philosophy or spirituality. They can give you a map for the new territory you're exploring.
But maybe the most important thing through all of this is that you have to trust the timing. You just have to. The biggest mistake you can make is trying to force things, to rush the process. You have to understand this phase has its own rhythm. And remember, it is temporary. This will not last forever.
Because once that inner alchemical work is done, once you've learned the lessons that were waiting for you in the quiet, the doors will swing open again. New people who are on your wavelength, new opportunities that actually feel right, they will start to show up. You will re-enter the world, but you won't be the same person who left it. You'll be renewed.
So let's leave it with this final thought, a complete shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Try asking, what is this preparing me for? If this solitude is a sacred training ground, what incredible new strength, what deep wisdom, what powerful purpose are you being forged to bring back into the world?